Hello, fourth graders. So good to have you again. We are on the second day of fractions. If you did not catch the first day, make sure you watch it. It's crucial to understand how fractions work. Today we're going to be talking about equivalent fractions. First, we're just going to break down the word. Equivalent, we've talked about like the equilateral triangle has equal sides. So the word equivalent means that they are equal fractions. There are an infinite number of fractions that can equal each other. So, how we do equivalent fractions. So first, let's just look at this. Let's take a circle. Not the greatest circle in the world, but a circle. And let's just split it up. We should know that, our denominator is going to be 2 because it's 2 parts. And let's take one part. Our fraction that we have there is 1 part out of 2 parts total, 1/2. Denominator of the bottom number means how many parts we have. The top number means how many we have in use. So we have 1 piece and there are 2 parts total in our whole. Okay? What if I did this though? Now we have 4 parts total, so our denominator can be 4. How many pieces do we have on the top there? How many pieces have we used? 2. The fractions 1/2 and 2/4 are equivalent. They're equal to each other. They mean the same amount. If you split a pizza into 4 pieces and you get 2 of them, that's the same if you split it into 2 pieces and you only got 1. Guess what else? There's another one too. I want to remind you that all the pieces need to be equal in a fraction. You cannot have different sized pieces. I now have 8 pieces for my fraction, so my denominator would be 8. But I only have 4. There's 8 in my whole, but I only have 4 shaded in. 4/8 is another equivalent fraction to 1/2 or to 2/4. Equivalent fractions have a rule to find the names for, or to find which is equivalent. It's a pretty easy rule, but you do have to know a little bit of multiplication or division for it. Pretty easy though. I'm going to show it to you. To find an equivalent fraction, you got to take any fraction that you have first. Let's take 3/4. It's a fraction I love. Okay? I'm going to draw what 3/4 looks like just since we're new to fractions. Take my circle. Bottom number's 4, so I have to split it into 4 equal parts. Top number's 3, so I got to shade in 3 sections. 3/4. Now, to find an equivalent fraction, it's really easy. You have to multiply your numerator and denominator by the same number. For instance, I can make 3/4 into 6/4. And I'll show you. 3 times 4. Let's take it times 2 over 2. Now, if you don't know, if you have a keen eye, 2 over 2 is the same thing as 1. It's equivalent to 1. If you have 2 pieces of something and 2 pieces are the whole, you have 1 whole thing. Now, in multiplication, any number times 1 equals itself. 10 times 1, 10,000 times 1 equals 10,000. Any number equals itself. So this is actually going to end up being the same number in the end. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. Make sure you keep that bar in the same place. Okay? So you can multiply any fraction you see by the same exact number, but it has to be multiplied by both. Has to. Okay? Let's try another one. Let's take, this time I'm not going to draw, but let's take the fraction 2/5. We have 2 pieces. We need 5 total to make a whole. Okay? Let's make an equivalent fraction. Okay? I know my 5 facts, so I'm going to multiply them each times 5. Whatever I do on the top, gotta do on the bottom. 2 times 5, just multiply across. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 5 is 25. What am I missing there? I hope you saw it. Gotta have that bar there, okay? Makes a fraction, it's important. So an equivalent fraction to 2/5 is 10 25ths. Pretty cool. Let's do one more just to make sure that we are good on this equivalent fraction thing. And you know what? For our division aficionados, aficionado here means really, really good at it. Let's try a division problem, okay? I'm gonna take the fraction 10/14. I have 10 pieces out of 14 total. I need 14 to make a whole. Now, just like multiplication, you can divide, but you have to divide by the same number on the top and the same number on the bottom. I know it's kind of hard to see these. Make my dots a little bit bigger there. I'm going to divide by 2 over 2. Pretty easy. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 5/7, when I just circled, is equivalent to 10/14. So like I said, multiplication division is super, super important to know if you're gonna have a good grasp on fractions also, okay? This is your equivalence lesson, and this will probably be your lesson for a few days. Equivalence is a very, very important topic with fractions. So we're actually gonna spend a few days on it. So I'll have you guys watch this lesson again and make sure that you are all good to go. So, equivalent fractions, pretty easy, gotta practice it. Your homework. I want you to do pages 71 and 72. And on IXL, I want you to do 05 and 07 and get them both to 70%. And don't forget your extra math. Knowing your multiplication facts is very, very important. Thank you, everybody. Bye.